joining.
Here we go. All right. Good to see everybody. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is phenomenal. I love it. Everybody's so excited to hear from RoseAnn. Oh, look at this. Great to see everybody. What a beautiful Tuesday, right? It's always exciting just to be here and collaborate with others, network, right? So that's the first thing we're going to do. Make sure that you put your contact information in there into the chat. And I, of course, have all kinds of announcements to make today, but I want to hear from you. I know for a fact that Sheila got out to fly and do flying and watch the fireworks and all. Anybody else? Did you go to a show? Did you fly? Go ahead. Let's hear. Yes, Tiffany. I saw thumbs up. Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else get out and fly? No? Hi, Jeremiah. Awesome. One of the announcements I have is, of course, about commercial UAV.
Love it.
Awesome. Awesome. And Jeremiah is going to be a spotlight speaker coming up too. Awesome.
On my list.
All right. Sheila, tell us about your flight. I saw a video. Did you post that on social media? It's amazing.
Put it on YouTube. Yeah, it was my lovely neighbors who had their own fireworks show, and I went, well, we'll see how high those are, because they were going off like right above the roof. So then the next night, the cities got together and did one over the river. So I just a little overcast, light rain, but the clouds were high enough, so it was fine. But it was a little misty, so it looks a little foggy. But yeah, it's fun.
Ah, still good to get out there and fly safe, of course, right?
For sure.
I have some comments and everything already going into our chat because we are all about connecting. So make sure that you put that in there. Thank you, Bill. See a couple other people as well. Hey, Audrey, congratulations. I see she got her 10 hours on her Air 3. Awesome. Just out of curiosity, Audrey, I don't know what state you're in at this point, but are you planning to go to commercial UAV coming up in September?
I'm not sure. I'm in San Diego still. I'll be here through the end of August, and that's when the tentative plan is to move to the Chicago area. So I'd say about 90% that's happening. I don't know about the commercial UAV. I saw that. Is it in Vegas? Where is it? Vegas?
Yes, it's in Las
Maybe.
Vegas.
It's a possibility.
All
Not sure yet.
right, all right. The countdown is on, right? So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of announcements, and then we are going to segue over to our spotlight speakers. So, big shout out to the sponsor today. Oh, got a couple more people. Thank you, Sheila. Let them in. Sponsor today is onthegovideo.biz. And if you are looking for any drone training, coaching, or just some conversation and advice and direction, they are the people to go to. And you can book a free discovery call. Also, I want to remind you about Commercial UAV Expo. That's September 3rd through the 5th. And super excited because Now and Beyond is Essentials for Every Drone Pilot is one of the programs that are going to be offered there. And yay, Amy's going to be there moderating the panel. We're going to know more about it in a few weeks. I've got Greg Robertio, Jared Jenicek, Vic Moss, and myself. Yay. So I'm going to give you a link for that. And then also, coming up tomorrow is Women in Emerging Aviation Tech. This is awesome. So they have Travis Scott with D Drones, and I'm going to give you the link for that as well. All kinds of stuff going on. Isn't it exciting to think about all the things that are happening in our industry right now? So with that, I will change this over, put all those wonderful links into our chat. And now I am going to segue over to what you've been waiting for. We have RoseAnn Denton. She's here today to share about what's happening with drone soccer. She's like a global traveler at this point, and she's going to share all about it. I'm very excited. So, RoseAnn, I'm going to segue over to you and make you spotlight.
All right.
There you
Good
go.
morning, everyone. Good. Everyone can hear me?
Yay. And Skip.
Great.
We got Skip.
Oh.
That's right. Skip is actually logging in on his phone. So he is co-host as well.
Well, thank you guys. This is so exciting. I mean, I am such a huge fan. I first got my license, my certificate with the FAA in, I think, 2019. And I was on the first Coffee Connections with Desi then, and I've learned so much. I mean, so many of our friends and colleagues and influencers, and every time I log in, I learn something new, or you meet more people and grow your LinkedIn. So it's just great. So I'm really honored to be here today.
Awesome. Awesome. And I'm going to put those links in there for you too.
Oh, okay, thanks. So what I'm here to talk about is kind of how I got started in the drone industry and what I'm doing now, and how I got to be a part of the FIDA USA drone soccer in South Korea. So I'll start my slideshow, and I'll do that. And then here. And okay, there we go.
Perfect.
It's going good. So good. Okay. So when I started flying, I just started my little she drones business. I did the granted program at Grossmont College, which was fantastic. And it was just great to meet people. And it was pretty new then, 2019. So I had small commercial jobs. And then I started doing some things with the college and helping them. And then eventually I came on board at Grossmont to help get their drone program off the ground. So it's been really fun. So that led me to this wonderful trip I got to do. We started doing drone soccer because of commercial UAV. We met the director and founder of FIDA, which is a Federal International Association of Drone Soccer. And we met Moon, and it just was so exciting for us. And, you know, fast forward, we just started displaying it, showing it, taking it to camp, showing it to kids, doing competitions. And it was really fun. And we could see what an exciting sport this was going to be. So we tried to implement it into our program at Grossmont. And as I said, this is kind of how I started. I've been able to work with Hollywood Drone, Drone Flyers Academy, Camp of Champions, and now with FIDA USA. And it's just been such a leap for me. You know, I really started in photography. I did design and construction for years. That was my background. And then I took some photography courses at City College in San Diego, and they had a drone workshop. And they sent me home with a little Shark 101, and I was flying it through my house, and that's how I really got started. So it's been quite the journey. So going to FIDA USA, how this kind of started was once we got our team up and running, barely at Grossmont, and it was great and it was fun. And, you know, we got this invitation to fly across the country and represent Grossmont and the USA, but half of my team got real jobs in the drone industry. So they were off learning to do line inspection. So my Grossmont team kind of became just me and Skip. So we merged with the FIDA USA team to be able to compete. So that's how that happened. So I was still representing Grossmont College, but there was really only 2 of us, and you have to have 5 on a team. So traveled to FIDA. It was beautiful in Incheon. They are actually building a standalone property for, I think will be ready by next year. So next year is going to be the first World Cup under the FIDA umbrella. here's a little bit of what it looked like inside and the competitions. There was two sizes of competitions. There was a 20 and 40 class, the smaller and the larger, like 8 inches and 16 inches. And what was so great were the teams. There was about 18 countries that participated, and each country could have as many teams as they wanted. So some of the teams that we saw were adult teams. Some of them were grade school, middle school, high school. So it was really an inclusive sport that everyone could get on board with. And so here's some of the pictures of some of the people that we met. And it was really great from beginning to end. You know, our very first meeting was a dinner banquet, and all the teams were there, and we all had to pull names out of these big bowls to establish the bracketing, you know, and they had the big board up, and it was really exciting. All these people that were participating, it just blew my mind that across the world, we all had this in common, and it was just so fun. And everyone was so excited to meet the USA team. We were all holding up all of our flags and taking pictures and cheering each other on in the competition. People were helping each other repair their drones, you know, as they would break or something would happen, and everyone was running around and helping each other. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And part of it too, so this was another part, the Korean Drone Expo was adjacent to the competition. I've been to drone expos, you know, here in the States, and this one was really different. It was more security, military security oriented, but they did have a few sport items like the racing, and then of course the drone soccer. But it was really cool to be able to go and walk and see all the vendors and all the exciting things that they wanted to include for their soccer. Okay, so this middle picture was a little alarming. It was a drone with a missile on it, and I was really taken aback. Like, I was like, what the what? So, you know, defense with the drones is, you know, a big deal. I guess we all know that, but we don't really see that here stateside, of course. But there was other cool stuff too. You can see the picture of the drone where a person gets in it and flies it around. Like, these things are really happening. So it was really cool to see those kind of things in person. And this was the other part of what we got to experience, was this fantastic drone show. It was massive, and the crowd, we just walked over to the park, and I mean, there was thousands of people there, and it was just a great family gathering to see. And they had music and they had bands, and it was just a really positive experience, you know, for the public to enjoy drones from that perspective, something just fun. Here's a little bit more of what the drone show was like. It was really just amazing. And these are just photos I took with my iPhone when we were there. And the crowd really loved it. Like, everyone was into it and cheering. Yeah, I loved it. I wish I could see this again. Go to my next slide. So after I did my trip, I published an article with the droning company. It kind of went into detail of, you know, how we started and what it was like and who we met. And, you know, going forward in the future, I just really want to, you know, spread the news about this great sport, because anybody can do it, adults and kids. And it is a good way to hone your drone skills, right? Like, you are practicing, even though you're playing the sport. If you're a commercial operator, those are the same skills that you need to have. So it's a great gateway, you know, for kids to start this if they want to continue in the drone industry. It's kind of twofold. And that's a big part of what we're doing, you know, at the college is trying to get more people with their hands on a drone, trying to get them interested in doing commercial work or the drone soccer. And then that's a gateway for them to then look at jobs that we're working with different industries. We've already placed like 5 of our team members in some line inspection jobs, and we're looking at maybe collaborating with some windmill companies and get their training on. So it's just a great fun gateway, but it's also important for future job skills for a lot of our students. So that is kind of what I wanted to talk about with you guys, but I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions and I'm ready to answer them. And the last thing I would say is I would love, we're open, FIT is open to creating teams and connecting. And Tim Ingram, who runs the FITA USA, he was like kind of hinting that maybe we could get a women in drones team together to compete next year would be awesome. I mean, how cool would that be, you guys? So, you know, keep it open, like, let's see what we can do and keep flying.
Awesome. Yes, that would be wonderful, right? So we do have questions coming up into the chat, but can you elaborate a little bit more about what that team would look like? When you're building out a team, what does that even entail?
Right. So you have to have five team players, 5 members on a team. And you'll have 3 defenders and 2 strikers. And you do these 3-minute intervals. So you play 3 minutes and then you have like a little bit of time to fix your drones, get them set up. Then you play your next 3-minute interval, have your time, and then you do the final, and then you're scoring. So you have your goals at either end of the cage. And once your striker goes through that circular goal, that's how you score. There's defensive movers. I play defense. So you have strategy of a couple of defenders doing formations. You can kind of bump your opponent there. So it is really, really fun.
So there is no age limit for it.
No, when we were at this event in South Korea, there was middle school kids, high school kids. We had full adult teams from Japan and France, and but they had been playing a long time. So a lot of these teams have already been playing since 2016, right, when it first started. So the USA is kind of behind that curve because a lot of them have experience and upping the game on their equipment, and so it was really fun seeing what everyone else was flying and how they were strategizing, right, when they're on their teams. But so friendly, and everyone just wanted to talk to everyone and cheer you on and peck you up when you did bad or you crashed. And so it was just a good time.
Awesome. So one of the questions that Bill asked was, did you see Michaela there? So Michaela, she's based in Colorado, but she's definitely one of those leaders that we think of when we're thinking of drone soccer.
I don't remember the name, but we met so many people. So we met not only the teams, but all the leaders from all the different countries, right? The FITA associates that are heading up all the different countries. So there was lunches and dinners and all kinds of meetings going on. Oh, Skip wants to say something.
Please, yes. That's it.
I don't want to interrupt because RoseAnn is doing such a freaking great job. But there's just a couple of technical things I'd like to say, if it's okay with RoseAnn, since I'm going to say she's in charge. She's always in charge. So it's okay?
Sure. Okay.
So a couple of things about FITA USA and FITA International. Like there is IndyCar racing, and there's 2 sanctioning bodies for IndyCar racing. There's 2 sanctioning bodies now for golf. There's 2 sanctioning bodies. Well, there used to be 2. There used to be the XFL and the NFL. There's 2 organizations that do drone soccer. FITA USA is part of FITA International, which is the international sanctioning body. What that means is all the rules are the same, all the drones are the same, all the teams must be members of the FITA. I know Michaela. She's a great asset to the drone industry, and she's just an amazing woman, young woman. But she's in a different sanctioning body. So our sanctioning body, Tim Ingram, who has FIDA USA, that he controls all the rights to North America. Anybody that wants to play in the World Finals has to be part of FIDA USA, that organization. So that's how the sanctioning works. And Tim's organization, FIDA USA, is directly connected to FIDA International, which is the company that actually manufactures the drones. There's two forms of drones. There's a 20 and a 40. They're based on the size. The 20 is a small drone. It's what we use at the camps that we run in Southern California. It's also what we use to train people at Grossmont College. The 40s, which are the bigger ones, are used in the world competition. Those drones will go 100 miles an hour in a cage, and it's very intense competition. So to be part of FIDA currently, or to be part of what Tim Ingram is doing with FIDA, and to get jobs at these camps, and to potentially become part of the teams, you basically need to go through the program at Grossmont College currently, or individual programs that we're setting up, because they're under the FIDA rules, FIDA sanction, and FIDA training to make sure that we're operating within the sanctioning body. So that's all the technical stuff and all the rules about it, and how it works. And the only reason I brought it up is because I know she's in the other part of the other organization, or she's an independent. But that's kind of how the logistics of that play out. Other than that, I'm going to say one thing about Korea. When we went to the banquet that night, they had a buffet of sushi, and they had like 30 pounds of ahi tuna. And I don't know the last time you guys had seared ahi tuna at a restaurant, but they give you 5 little slices for like $40. There was like 30 pounds of this stuff. I never ate so much seared ahi tuna in my life. That's all. All right, RoseAnn, thank you. I defer back to you and all the other stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Because I just I'm on like just the fun side, training, teaching, talking, encouraging. Our drone soccer camps that we do for the Palm Springs district is so fun. And just from the last, 2 summers, I guess, maybe, or a fall, and I've seen these kids excel. Like a couple of schools have their own drone soccer team now. So when we come back and do our one-day camps, or we do spring or summer camps, they have improved so much. So, it doesn't take much. If you practice and get on it, your skill set can grow pretty quickly.
Awesome. Awesome. So we want to say thank you, Skip, for that clarification, because that definitely was something that was a little bit of a gray spot. I didn't understand. So thank you for that clarification. And RoseAnn, what does that training look like when somebody comes in and they're going to start that training with you?
It's very similar to when our basic drone class, right? We start them just flying a straight line, back and forth, left and right, start them doing orbits, start them hitting cones and stopping, and just doing really specific maneuvers where they have good command and control of the equipment. Very similar to basic flight class, very similar. So I have them usually take basic flight class first, so they understand how to fly a drone. Then the next class will have courses and get them familiar with flying the 20 size on the drone soccer ball.
And does this program include building the drone or the flight skills?
Yes. So yes, Ramon does a great job of getting the drones, picking them apart, putting them back together, getting them operating. Because a lot of it, when you're flying, you may crash, you may break a prop, or something needs to be repaired. So it's important that they learn that aspect of it too. I need to sign myself up for that, because the last time I've just been training people and I haven't been building. So always something to learn, right? In this industry, there's always something to learn.
Oh, definitely. Don't blink, because you need to learn more.
Right.
Right. right. So Sheila had asked about what are the team or league startup goals for US? And in addition to the Women in Drones team, are they looking for all state specific ones? How do you go start it and such like that?
Yeah, Tim Ingram is just looking to grow this. You know, getting school districts started first is very helpful to getting the youngsters getting used to flying these and doing, you know, small competitions. The larger competitions, like right now, my Grossmont team we were ready to go, but then, you know, my team kind of left for big jobs, which I don't blame them, and they're very happy for them because that's the whole point of doing what we do is to get our guys employed, and they are. So it's just really practice trying to get a place, get a cage, or practice in an enclosed area, set up your own goals. So yeah, it takes funding because you have to have the equipment, you have to have a dedicated space. So it's kind of an up and running thing. We're trying to get it moving, you know, compared to the rest of the world that's already kind of ahead of us.
Awesome. So, RoseAnn, we could go ahead and drop down your presentation.
Yep. Okay.
And I did put some contact information in there if anybody wanted to reach out to you. And look, there's Skip waving. Yes, hi, Skip.
I would like to follow up because I work with Tim so closely. I'd like to follow up a little bit more again on the technical aspect of FIDA USA and the process of what's going on. So we've done 2 years of camps. We've had about 10,000 kids in the Coachella Valley go through our program, which includes the drone soccer, drone training, and our stunt course with the lightsabers, which, by the way, RoseAnn is a badass Jedi, just to let you guys know. And she took the Jedi Master Training Stunt School with me. So yeah, we're like that. That being said, so how the process works with the school systems are, they pretty much contact Tim. We're now in almost all the school districts in the Coachella Valley. We're in Yoruba, and we're spreading out at least through our region, but we are talking to other states. And what we would do is we would then license that state, and then we would initially put these drone soccer programs in the schools to develop the students, and then to set their teams. Currently, right now, we're controlling all of the teams, specifically at Grossmont and the FIDA USA team, and RoseAnn's idea to have a woman in drones team, which I think would be great. The international recognition that we got and the program was massive. I can't even begin to tell you guys the connections that we made. Well, first of all, RoseAnn is like the den mom of every single kid from around the Pacific Rim: China, Taiwan, Indonesia, India, Australia. I mean, the whole Pacific Rim. They had about 8 million people watching the live feed of this. And the technology in that area is really growing. So we want to do it here. We have the opportunity. We did a demo at CES and draw thousands. It was the most popular exhibit at CES this year. We did the demo. It was when RoseAnn and I basically got drafted into this. To say that it was a cluster is an understatement. I never knew I could fly so bad in my life. And I did. Everything I did wrong. And then, of course, we got drafted also for Korea, because our guys actually got jobs. Like RoseAnn was saying, 3 of our students, 3 drone soccer team members, got very high-paying jobs in the inspection industry recently, and they left. So Tim drafted us, and I can tell you that thank goodness I really, really loved the ahi tuna, because my flying was atrocious. The balls were crashing all over the place. And these freaking little kids, man, they would just come in there with these big old balls at 100 miles an hour, and bam, my thing was all over the place. But it was a great experience. And so but going back to the technical part, that's how it works. The idea is you can start your own league. All you have to do is contact Tim, and they work out all the particulars to get you the drones, to get you the cages to fly in and practicing in, to get you the rule books and everything that you need. So there is a procedure. I don't want to call it like a franchise. It's more of a sanctioning, licensing type of arrangement. And then you have an area. They either give you an area, they give you a state, depending on how big your organization is. So, but that's how you would do it. You would contact Tim to set up your own leagues, but if you're interested in competing, then you would more than likely have to contact RoseAnn or myself or Ramon, somebody at the college, and then we would point you in the right direction. Oh, there's a motto. That's a motto. Well, I'd like to introduce you guys to a motto. He's on my screen. He's a big guy in the veterans, military affairs, all that kind of stuff. He went with us to Korea also, and I'm glad that he showed up today. And he has been a liaison with the Veterans Administration, the American Legion, bringing those guys into the event. So I didn't know you were here, but hello. Now I'm going to turn it back to RoseAnn. I don't know what a motto wants.
He raised his hand. He raised his hand. Did you want to make a comment? Yes.
Yes, is my video on?
You are all good.
Great. In all fairness to both Skip and RoseAnn, we had those 40s recalibrated and find out they were set for hyperspeed and all the variants. And so they went ahead and slowed them down. They were able to then gain control. So in all fairness to both of them, we had to recalibrate him. So that's that. And he's right. The American Legion is doing a drone soccer youth program and is designed for the American Legion posts in the communities to help the youth get acclimated with the drone operations. Of course, we'd like to see them go into the service and act as drone pilots for our UAV programs across all services. But yes, if there's an American Legion post close by you, ask them if they have the drones youth soccer by FIDA, and we're looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, FIDA USA will be scheduling around these different posts to help actually instruct and service the areas in that area. So thank you.
So Wendy put a link in for the website, but is there a way that we could reach out to you or either of you to have further conversations about it and what we can do on our behalf?
I'll put my contact information in, but FIDA USA is the parent group for the North America, and they handle all of that. So
awesome. All right. So circling over to our chat, April had asked, will Grossmont be training indoors anytime soon?
I hope so. That is one of the goals I have is, to get the dean of our department to dedicate a space for us, because that's what we need. I mean, like right now, we're like the Bad News Bears team. We're out there in our lot setting up our obstacle courses, and let's face it, it can be windy out in Grossmont, and I'm trying to fly my drone soccer, and it's like flying all over the wind. So yes, that is my goal, to get us a dedicated space there with our cage and really, do weekly practices and get sharper, get better, because next year we want to compete at a higher level. We won a few brackets. Honestly, I think I played better at the CES play exhibit than I did in South Korea, but we're ready to go. It just takes practice and really learning your own equipment too. Like that's a big part of it. And that's
so that brings up a really good question, RoseAnn. Is it we purchase the equipment and use it, or is it something that is a team?
Yeah, you would definitely purchase, but go ahead, Skip. Yeah.
Thank you. There's two ways to go. One is the straight up purchase, and then Tim is texting me. Do you want to? Yeah. Hold on. So I don't know where he's at. I thought he was going to tell me to shut up or something. He texted me right in the middle of what I was saying. No, there's also different. In addition to buying the equipment, yes, you can buy a drone soccer ball. You can buy the cages that we fly in, but they're also looking at different sort of options for communities like the schools and the Veterans Association. So you don't necessarily have to lay out a big chunk of change initially. So they're working on those kind of options to bring leagues into it and people into it. Again, a lot of those questions can be dealt with Tim directly through the contacts, and he can answer that. But you certainly can purchase the drone soccer ball from him and practice yourself and get into a team. But what we're trying to do is RoseAnn and myself and Ramon over at Grossmont is incorporate this into our classes, because Tim is hiring people to work soccer camps in the summer and the winter. And the pay rate is $150 to $350 for what amounts to a 4-hour day of basically being a visual observer, keeping an eye on these kids and helping them fly these drones. And then I'm using that training background to pick students that I think would be good moving forward in other industry jobs. The 3 people that are doing the power line inspection came from those camps. I have 3 more people that are going to be getting jobs this week in the windmill inspection that came from those camps. So we're trying to set up sort of a conveyor belt of education through getting and it doesn't necessarily happen at Grossmont. It could happen at the other universities I'm teaching at, or it could happen at the camps that we're doing, that RoseAnn and I are doing. The idea is you go through a basic, you get your 107, you build up your hours, you go into either basic advanced, which you could go into the soccer, which teaches you soccer, which teaches you other skills in inspection. And then you can go into our cinema advanced, which is even more than that. And then the stunt program. So even though we have a base footprint at Grossmont College, these programs are offered, at 2 other universities and our camps out here in the Coachella Valley. And that's kind of how we're trying to make the program work, so that you could, the prize money next year in Korea is $1 million. $1 million to fly drones in a cage. So that's a lot of money. And RoseAnn and I this year are going to freaking practice. And we're going to pick 3 of the best students we can at Grossmont and freaking practice, because $1 million prize money divided by 5 is pretty good. Or maybe 6, because I don't know, maybe Amato will take a cut, or 7, and Tim will take a cut. But either way, there's all of that. So it's kind of how the process is working. But to expand this program, Tim is looking. I just came from Las Cruces of New Mexico. I was at Spaceport USA for their rocket launch competition, and drone soccer, FIDA drone soccer was part of that. Our inroads are expanding from this state, but we're certainly looking for strategic partners. So if you're in a position to be a strategic partner, if you're already an educator, you already have a line into being able to speak with Tim and talk about the program and expanding it in your area. And yes, when you do this, you earn money. I mean, it's great to help these kids, and I like doing that. That's wonderful. But I need to buy more drones. I need to buy more cameras. The Mavic 3's coming, the Air 3's coming, the other one's coming. So, we are earning a living doing this. So it's not, we're helping people, we're helping kids, and at the same time, we're earning our living. So if you're in a position to partner, strategic partner, if you're an educator, if you're a teacher, if you're a sports director at a camp, if you have camps, and of course the veterans or the American Legion, then you definitely need to talk to Tim, because he is looking to expand that way, or Amato, if you're somebody in the veterans or American Legion or in that group. And that, I think, is the last time I'm going to interrupt RoseAnn, because look at all the people that came today.
Yes.
There's so many people. RoseAnn, you're like an international, national, celebrity. It's blowing my mind. It's crazy.
It's just so fun to be a part of this. And, as the big umbrella, everything we do in the drone industry, right? We're drone ambassadors, right? Fly safe, fly right, have fun, work in the industry. There's many different verticals. This is just the one that I've fell into because of commercial UAV. So there's a plug, because I would have never found out about drone soccer and meeting Moon and finding about the sport. And that's how we got involved, and then started spreading that with camps with kids. It just was so fun. and it's just a part of what I do, but it's becoming a bigger part. But, shooting jobs and commercial jobs, architecture, parades and concerts and fun events. And so it's just, this industry is great. So the more we can talk about all the fun things, get people interested, start networking, it just grows into bigger things.
Awesome. So the chat is blowing up right now. So circling over there. First of all, I want to go all the way back up because Olga mentioned in there that she wanted to grow it in Spanish. How awesome is that for thinking about a partnership right there, right? So that's awesome. Make sure you connect. She's got some information in there that she posted as well. Bill Johnson made a couple of comments, and also circling back, we did talk a little bit about the drone light show, and so there's a few of those that got posted in there as well. And Bill mentioned in there that he is ready to support a youth aviation training, which is awesome. And so we sponsored a youth soccer team at AUVSI event this spring. Awesome. Amado, I'm sorry, I said it incorrectly at first. He put his information in there so you can connect, right? We're all about connecting. And what is the minimum age to qualify? Go ahead, RoseAnn.
Well, I mean, when we were there in South Korea, I saw, elementary, the higher end of elementary, like middle school. That's what I saw that was like competing. But I've never seen an age minimum for a team. I've never seen that in any of the rules that I've read. But to me, teaching kids, now that we've taught it for a while, it seems around like the 4th grade and up seems to be like that sweet spot age where they understand the equipment, they understand scoring and playing, maybe because they're playing organized sports outside of drone soccer. But that, to me, 4th grade and up was a great place to start with these kids playing each other.
Awesome. All right. Bill also mentioned A7 Corsair 2 Association. He is the president, so he put the link in there. Bill, are you thinking that's a great way to collaborate and partner? Because that's great information in there.
Yeah, exactly. Just as he was talking, I put in also, I asked for Tim's info since you had suggested, Skip. That's who I would coordinate with to maybe do some sort of either localized or larger partnership.
That's correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
Do you do drone demos?
Do we do demos?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Church groups, veterans groups, colleges, high schools. As a matter of fact, I think Tim's doing a demo this Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, we do nonprofit stuff. We've done churches. We do a lot of demos. Amado's been at the demos with the veterans and the American Legion.
Perfect.
And Wendy posted the FITA USA link. That's the way to get a hold of Tim to find out more and connect with him. So that's a link that Wendy put in the chat.
All right, perfect. And then it looks like awesome, as this is from April, as that will definitely help gaining skills. Oh, she's ready to play indoors. All right, make that happen. She's ready for that.
Let me can I talk one more time about
It's okay.
So if you're a college instructor, so we all know what public education budget is. So it's kind of like me and RoseAnn are pushing for an indoor location. It'll probably come after Grossmont cuts the grass on my flight field so that I don't have to. So I put in a requisition every fall to cut the grass, and it ends up me, RoseAnn, or whoever, our intern, are out there cutting the grass. So I'm hoping that we get the grass cut, and then probably the next step will be indoors. I'm just saying. It's just public education money.
Ah, yeah.
We're not letting it go though. It's gonna happen. Like I'm keeping it together. That's the reason why I made the effort to be a part of, Team USA over there is we've got to keep it alive. And that's what we're doing, talking about it, putting these drones in people's hands, getting them excited. I want us to compete next year. USA needs to compete over there. It'd be great.
Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. I'm definitely going to be reaching out because I have some opportunities for us. I think it would be fantastic. So, Sheila mentioned in there, has there been any challenges getting coaches and what type of training do they need? And then about the kids second as far as getting uh, coaches or training.
Yeah, when a program gets implemented at a school, a lot of the times Tim will hire us to actually teach the teachers, right? Teach the teachers, get them started, so then the teachers will become their coaches for their local teams at the local schools and do competitions within their district. But yeah, that is a challenge. So we're just spreading the word, spreading the skill set, trying to meet them where they are so they can continue it at a local level.
Awesome. All right. And Audrey said, sorry she missed it. What was the age limit for the camps and the pricing again? She's got an adorable daughter, by the way.
Again, there's not really an age limit. You can start flying the 20s really at almost any age, as long as you understand that the stick movement. But it seemed to me after fourth grade was the time that at least Palm Springs Unified was putting together their local league with the schools, was like from about middle school, end of elementary to middle school.
Awesome. Awesome. So we have a lot of people that are saying, great job, great information. Chanel said that she is very interested in becoming a drone soccer coach. And then Jeremiah said, might have to steal a quote from RoseAnn for the UAV promo. But it speaks to not always knowing what you are getting into of an event in the industry gathering, but making these connections and having conversations is the only way to find out. Yes, I agree. Yes.
That's it. I mean, every time I've ever been on your Coffee Connection, Desi, it's been great. I looked back at my notebook from the first one. I'm always writing notes and meeting new people and adding to our personal Instagram and LinkedIn. And it's a great way. This is a great industry. I mean, who doesn't love what we do? It's fantastic.
Yes, agreed. Totally agree. And I love providing an opportunity to network, making those connections. So awesome. Which we have a couple more going in there. And how much space does the setup need? That's a fantastic question.
Yeah, the league size stadium is pretty big. Do you remember the 30 by 50? I think it's 30 feet by 50 feet is the actual official size. But when we are doing smaller, like school events, we have smaller size cages, right, with the goals at each end. So it starts them out at a smaller scale. So you don't have to go to this, big arena league yet.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead.
The cages, the 20 cages for the small drones, I think they're 10 feet high by 20 feet long and 10 feet wide. So that would be the minimum amount of space you would need, and then people would be around it. We have a 9-foot version for middle schools that can fit in a classroom. And when we do it, we always try to we could set up 2 or 3 units inside a small basketball gym at a high school or a community hall, something like that. The big 40 competition size is what RoseAnn said, and those cages are enormous at CES. I believe that Tim is working with Commercial Drone Expo to put on a giant demo there with the full-size stadium. I don't know. I'm working on my own booth and the Hollywood Drones and things I'm going to be doing, but I know he's talking to them and they're trying to work out the space needed to do a massive drone soccer demo at Commercial Drone Expo.
which would
More to
be
come on, more to
fantastic.
come on that. We'll know soon enough.
If that happens, everyone at Commercial UAV can just jump in and it would be great. It would be great, but I'm always hopeful.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So we've had a lot of conversation into our chat. We've had a lot of connections put into our chat. So we're getting up near the top of the hour where we want to start thinking about wrapping it up. So do you have any one last thoughts that you would like to share? And I don't care if we start with RoseAnn or Skip or Amato. If any of you have anything that you'd like to share as a last minute wrap up.
I mean, just as far as at Grossmont College, if you guys have the time and inclination, you know, look online, find our classes right now. And we're not going to stay this way forever, but we are the only non-credit course at the university. So, you know, no barriers to entry here. Like if you're a registered student, you can take our course and you can take it more than once. You know, a lot of our students come in, they do basic, maybe they've bought a drone, maybe they haven't, or they take our course, they buy a drone, and then they come back again, you know, to refresh the skill set. And we're always changing the curriculum and adding it and making it more challenging, you know, every semester. So come on back, take our class, and just start having some fun.
Awesome.
And by the way, kudos to Skip for actually developing the curriculum and getting it into the universities. I know he's expanding to other colleges, but Skip, thank you for bringing that opportunity to our students here across California and hopefully across the nation as you grow. So thank you.
Yes, and so many opportunities in so many different ways. Thank you, definitely, Skip. So, Skip, do you have last words?
Yeah, I would just like to add that I've been very fortunate to partner with a lot of great people. This industry has been wonderful to me, and we've placed the Tim Ingram and FIDA USA has been a huge get for our program with the amount of instructors and camp people that Tim has hired. Mostly still we're in the Coachella Valley, but your hotel room is provided. The pay is good. It's 4 hours. You don't even have to like kids. I don't really like kids, and I can make it through the day. So, you know, and but it's we're because of our connections in the industry that I keep active because I work in the industry. We've really been in a position to place people in jobs. Mario, who was on, you know, he's at the Hawthorne Police Department now, getting really good paid. Sean and Bryce and Mark, 3 of our top drone soccer guys, they're out doing power line inspection, legitimate pay, really good pay. 3 more guys. I've partnered up with another company that will be making a big announcement with the Commercial Drone Expo that are going to specifically take our pilots because we're going to have a customized training program, and those are high figure paying jobs, and it all just relates from being able to do the basic class, do the drone soccer class, and then go through the rest of it. So I think, you know, hopefully as these people that took our classes and go out and work in the industry, then they're able to bring in more people. And like you said, Desi, it's all about networking. And I think I was your very first person when you started this 3 years ago during the pandemic. So it's been really exciting to watch this grow and Women in Drones grow and all of this. And I'm looking so forward to seeing everybody at Commercial Expo. Granted, it's September, but it's going to be here like that. And once again, congratulations to RoseAnn. The presentation was awesome. The Canva thing was awesome. Oh, I will add one more thing. It was so cool. RoseAnn and we broke off from the group and the sort of the bubble at being at the international location. And when we went to the drone show, we went right into the middle of what the Koreans call Central Park. And we were like right there, like we lived there forever. It was the most enjoyable experience. Never had so much fun in my life. The drones, the fireworks, and then the people, and then just walking all the ways back to the hotel, a 2.5 mile walk back to the hotel, stopping along the way to eat and drink Korean food. So thank you very much, Desi, for having me. Yeah.
Skip, you might want to mention that that competition is open, and it'd be great to have more USA competitors, their teams there, because you guys were facing countries that had 7 or 8 teams, and Team USA only had one. So those of you that
Well-
are flying that want to compete internationally, what an opportunity to compete at an international level. So next May, we have another one in Germany and maybe France. So get on to FIDAUSA.com and see about competing. Get a team together.
Awesome.
That's right.
So Mario said, my goal is to compete next year.
Yay.
Awesome. Awesome. And so Sheila, can you post that link one more time? Because I saw someone had asked about that, getting a little bit more information. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. So, all right. With that, we are going to wrap it up. I can't thank you enough. This has been wonderful. So exciting to hear all the accomplishments and just thinking about moving forward in the industry and how exciting it is, and your passion for it definitely shows, RoseAnn. So thank you very much. Skip, thank you for joining us as well. I know you're a busy person and you need to get out there before it gets too hot. And so, Motto, nice meeting you. Thank you for sharing with us today as well.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Amato. That was great.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. So this replay will be available in a few weeks when Johnny gets to the edits. He sends them over and they will be available on the Women in Drones YouTube channel and the website. So I know, hey, Samantha, know you'll be interested in watching that again. So awesome. Thank you again. Have a wonderful week, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thanks. Bye.
All right. See you
Bye,
next week.
RoseAnn.
All right, bye. That kind of wraps it up.